I'm going to make a little ballpoint drawing. I found this image on Pixabay, and I start with the eye. I put the drawing on my iPhone, the source photograph. I put it on my iPhone. It's very convenient to do it this way. And I'm finishing the eye relatively high now. So, relatively high finish, eyebrow. And I really like how the ballpoint glides over the paper. And the white of the eye is a little bit darker than the highlight in the eye, so I made it slightly darker than the white of the paper. The other eye. A portrait like this, with the face looking, let's say 3/4. You know, she's not looking straight at you, but she's turned a bit, with her nose a bit away from you, and she looks at you with the eye, with the eyes. Then this is, I find this easier or more convenient than when someone is looking straight at you with her face, which it's anfast they call that. And now I have the nose as well. I've sped up this drawing, and I will also post a real-time version with some music at the background, because it's about 45 minutes, the real-time version, and to be talking for 45 minutes it's a bit long. So I prefer to keep these talking videos around 11 or 12 minutes. I think I drew the nose a little bit too low, so I'm correcting that. I'm adjusting that a little bit. And there you can see veils of hatching, so to speak, so to make the tonalities darker. And the hair is a little bit there. And I focused first on the separate features like the nose and the eyes and the mouth, and now I want the face as a whole to be drawn. And veils of hatchings, as I say, to make areas darker. I was surprised at how much ink there is in such a ballpoint, actually. And on the right under, there's this very light area in her face, so I want to have everything else darker than that. But I feel that the photograph as I have downloaded it is actually a little bit too light for my taste. So later on in this video I will make it darker myself. So this is the way that I downloaded it from Pixabay. And later on I will darken the photograph myself with my iPhone. But we'll see that in a moment. And here I'm darkening her skin in the darker side. I was almost going to say the shadow side, but it's more let's say the slightly darker area on the left has its own lighting situation, and it's not just a shadow of what you happen to see on the right side. I think there's an additional light, a spotlight or something, which adds some extra lighting there. And as I progress, I add also some hair on the right side. So the shadow of the hair also makes, oh yeah, here you can see that I make her face darker. So I was actually adjusting myself from the lighter version, the tonal values, but that didn't really work for me. So I wanted to make the photograph itself darker. But what I was saying is that the shadows of the hair on the right side make that light spot of her face even lighter, sort of light and dark contrast there. And here I'm adding, let's say, veilings of hatchings. Her mouth needs to be a little darker as well. And adjusting some details. Her nose. I just made this drawing and I was busy for 45 minutes, so now I'm watching this video and it's nice to see how fast it goes. I needed to adjust the lower jawline, and sometimes you have that you need to adjust something. Especially with this drawing style, I would almost say. And sometimes it can even make a drawing more interesting to correct something and to have a sort of shadow line of the original line that you drew in the image. And I'm adding layer upon layer of hatchings. It gets quite a rich structure, especially in the darker areas of her face. Ballpoint is not an archival medium, so when you make a drawing like this and you hang it on the wall, slowly it will fade away because of the light. So if you put it in a folder outside of any influence of light, then you can keep it for a long time. But when you exhibit it continuously in your room or whatever, it can fade away slowly. And here and there I'm darkening her face a bit. I wonder if I went too far finishing this drawing. Maybe I should have stopped here. But that's what you get when you make these kind of videos. And I'm adjusting all over the place. Veils of hatchings, adjusting her tonal values, the hair a bit. Sometimes the addition of hair or an extra dark area in the. Oh, here I'm adjusting her chin a bit. I think it needed that, but adding some hair or dark areas in the surrounding background can give some extra atmosphere. So here I wonder if I went too far darkening it. And I want that area of light to stand out really, so darkening some areas, adjusting some details. Now she looks a bit angry for some reason. Here I'm working on her expression. I want her to look less angry. I think I fixed it more or less now. adding some more detail. I had actually taken a break just before I enlarged the photograph just now. I had a coffee and a cookie, quite big one back actually, and a nice one with lots of sugar and apple, if you want to know. But sometimes when I have taken a rest, I can work more subtle on detail work. So that's something I noticed myself. So sometimes it's good to take a break, take some rest, do something else, listen to some music, eat something, and then go further with the drawing. And you will notice that, as I experience it, that you have more rest to carefully adjust some detail work. Because when you have just done a lot of work with lots of hatchings and making that drawing anyway as a whole, then you can get a bit tired, and you need some rest every now and then to work with a fresh mind. And here I'm adjusting all kinds of little details, her expression as well, her eyes. I wonder whether the drawing was better at the 8th minute or something. But it is what it is, and I think it's a nice drawing anyway. Thank you very much for your attention. Please like and subscribe or comment. Thank you very much.